The Exorcist Believer Trailer 2 has dropped. And the question is, does it give you more hope for the film or does it give you less? I'm going to tell you what I thought about it. Let's go. Hey guys, so the second trailer for The Exorcist Believer has dropped and I checked it out. It was very interesting. It had a much different type of tone than the first trailer. The first trailer, in a lot of trailers for horror movies, will do this because you get multiple trailers before the film is released. The first trailer kind of was like an overview, trying to, establish kind of the general story of the film, but it didn't really get into any of the plot points or give us any real sense of the characters, maybe other than the fact of Leslie Odom's character as the father, Tanner. But in this one, we really got a little bit deeper into it, and I was a little surprised when I was watching it. Now, real quick before I finish that, please, if you're a horror fan and wanting to get more horror content, subscribe to the Nightwatch Zone, and don't forget to hit the like button. It helps to support the channel, and I'd appreciate it. Now, in this particular trailer, I think it was really cool because we saw a little bit more with Catherine, a little bit more with Angela, and they really played on your sympathy as these two girls, they're being possessed. You have that scene also in the beginning of the trailer where it's really setting Chris up a lot more. And listen, man, when you have a situation where you have a top tier horror film like The Exorcist, it's an iconic film. It's absolutely classic. It's spanned generations. And by the way, rest in peace to the great William Friedkin. When you have a situation like that, you're always up against it, right? You're going to be damned if you do. You're going to be damned if you don't in the eyes of the fans that are really passionate about it. All that being said, and I'm a passionate fan of The Exorcist. I still think it's one of the greatest horror movies of all time. I think it transcends horror. Okay, that being said, we have this new film, this new trilogy that is happening under David Gordon Green. My viewpoint is going into it, just seeing what happens, trying to have as much of an open mind as possible. I know that there's a lot of tension and divide and hate for this film even before it's come out and this and that, which is interesting because one thing about horror films, and we've seen this time and time again, you can get fooled, one way or the other. Some horror movies that have come out that were supposed to be really good, or they looked like they were going to be really good, or they sounded like they were going to be really good, weren't, or they just didn't hit. And the opposite has happened before too. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with this one. But back to the trailer, when you have this little girl telling Chris McNeil, are you looking for Reagan?
Are you looking for Reagan?
Are you looking for Reagan?
Are you looking for Reagan? And so yes, they're having that bridge to the original film. Some people, that probably will make them cringe, and others it's kind of like, yes. You got to remember, The Exorcist as a film has touched multiple generations. I mean, the movie is 50 years old, right? So that was a really cool scene though, and kind of getting a little bit of a different angle to Ellen Burstyn's character in this film. And also, you can kind of get a sense of how much weight she's going to be dealing with in this film, which we already speculated on, that there was going to be some tie or some link to Reagan or some conversation about Reagan. So we already knew that. But then you have these scenes, with the girls. They're being looked at in the hospital, which is very much similar to how it was in The Exorcist with Reagan. And you're seeing how both of them are basically just going down this rabbit hole, And then you have the scene with Catherine. And I thought that this was really, this one actually got to me a little bit when she's talking to her mom and she's like, I can't see you, mommy, I can't see you. And then, her mother is saying, what's wrong? And she's this, mommy, I don't want to go to hell.
I don't want to go to hell.
and then it goes into her being possessed and doing some other things. But the way that it was set up and the way that it was said, the young actress Olivia Markham, I felt it, man. I was like, wow. I mean, just think about that statement. This little girl, seemingly an innocent little girl, who says, I don't want to go to hell, knowing that she's going to hell, or at least that's what the demon wants to happen. That was pretty interesting. So number one, I think that with these possessions, these two possessions, they're going to try to do some different things that we haven't seen in exorcism films. And trust me, guys, I've seen a lot of exorcism films over the years. I think a lot of fans of The Exorcist have. So right from the beginning, that would have been my whole thing if I was behind this movie. Like, what can we bring to the table that's different? What can we do that hasn't necessarily been done before? That's always a tough thing to do. It doesn't matter what movie it is, what genre it is. That's always a difficult thing. The other part of the movie is, while you have the parents and everyone, reacting and going through all these different things, you had Ann Dowd's character, Paula, talking about, evil and what the devil wants and this and that. And I thought it was a really good scene. I think that she's going to be that type of character that helps to, kind of round out the information in the movie as she's trying to help Leslie Odom's character and Chris. Now, here's the other thing too. Let's think about this. We got some really good actors in this movie. I mean, I think Ann Dowd was amazing in a bunch of different things, like Hereditary. I mean, I think she was really good in that movie. So if she can bring that level into this film, that's only a good thing. It can't hurt The Exorcist Believer, right? So we've got some really good actors that are in this film. But after that, near the end of it, where you have the two girls being possessed and they're talking about the hearts beating in sync. Again, we saw that in the first trailer, but that's a really cool touch. It's like something that, like when someone says, okay, the next Exorcist movie, you're going to have two girls possessed. In my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, they're both going to be acting crazy. They're both going to be, all over the place, blah, blah, blah. But to have their heartbeats at the same time in sync, that's definitely a nice little touch. That's showing me that they're trying to do some different things, and how that plays out will be interesting. But here's the best part, or at least one of the best parts at the end of the trailer, is when they're possessed and they're talking to the parents, or specifically to Leslie Odom's character. The demon says, one girl will live, one girl will die. You pick and choose. And then, of course, that famous line that we heard in the first trailer, when God has played a trick on us, or played a trick on you.
One girl lives, one girl dies.
You pick and choose.
But the idea that one of them have to live and one of them has to die, that's really interesting. Like, I guess what I'm saying is, as some of these details are being peeled back a little bit more before the release of the film, I think it's some interesting stuff. They had the scenes that were kind of in black and white, and the still shots, and slow-mo still shots and stuff like that. That was pretty cool. Of course, they're trying to invoke some of the vibes of the original film. That's okay. This is part of our franchise. It is what it is. There's no escaping that. This is a sequel to The Exorcist, so it obviously is in that same universe. It's obviously going to draw some things from that story. So I was really cool with this. I think that this trailer, it was better than the first. I really do, at least as far as getting that emotion out of me, because I really felt bad for these two girls. Like I said, especially when Catherine says, I don't want to go to hell. I was like, wow, she really nailed that line. That was, first of all, it's a powerful line, and the young actress really nailed it. Now, again, for you guys, whether or not this makes you feel more confident that the film will be good, or you're thinking this is going to be the worst film ever created in the history of man,
you're goddamn right.
We'll find out soon, right? But for me, I gotta admit, this has given me a little bit more confidence. I think at the end of the day, if nothing else, this film will have some moments that I'm going to really enjoy. I think it's going to do some things that are a little bit different. It looks as though it will have some of the nostalgia play going on, and I'm okay with that if it's done right. We'll see if it's done right, but I'm okay with that in a film if it's done right, executed well. So I'm actually a little bit more confident. And again, I'm going into this with an open mind, and I do think that it's going to be a decent film. I don't think it's going to be absolute garbage. And, I don't hear a lot, and especially in the horror community, I don't hear a lot of people saying that. Most people are like, it shouldn't have been made. Why are they doing it? David Gordon Green disappointed me with Halloween Ends. This is going to be crap. There's never going to be a worse film than this movie. Whatever. I don't look at films like that. I wait until I watch it, and then I'll give my opinion. And if this movie sucks, I'll be the first person to say it, because I'll be disappointed. But again, sequels and long-running franchises, that's just how it is. It's happening. It's happened before. It's going to continue to happen. And you just got to sit back and kind of weed through the good ones and through the ones that aren't so good. So anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Did you enjoy this trailer or not? Did it give you more confidence or not? Don't forget to hit the like button. It helps to support the channel. I'd appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to the Nightwatch Zone, hey, if you're a horror fan, if you're a movie fan, this is the place for you. Come and join us in this fantastic community.
Mm-hmm.